Welcome to episode 5. Today we're going to do a really quick one-day build. This is the Star Wars Rogue One K-2SO model by Bandai. As usual, Bandai always provides water slide as well as stickers. We definitely won't be needing the stickers. You can see that they mold several different colors all in one sprue. I've built a few Bandai kits and they're always very well molded and detailed, and this one seems to be no different. They also come with rubberized plastic parts for some of those joints. Let's take a look at the instructions. Looks like we're going to be starting off with the head. So let's cut off a few pieces from the sprues. A little bit of trim with my trusty X-Acto knife. This is the first of those rubberized pieces. This is going to be the neck section. With most Bandai kits, you almost don't need glue at all. They fit that well. But we do need to add some glue in a few places. Bandai kits are usually really well engineered about how the parts go onto the sprue, but on occasion you do see a few seam lines like this one on the head that need a little bit of touch up. I'm not going to be narrating the whole build process. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll spare you a little bit from hearing me talk the whole way through. One little tip about clipping parts off of the sprues: they seem to come off with a little bit less stress to the plastic if you give it a quick clip rather than try to do it slowly. With those rubberized ball joints, you get a little bit of lateral movement and also a little bit of forward and back in case he needs to do any twerking. Looks like we need to preheat for 375 for 1 hour. That was a little side project. And then we start working on the legs. Those little clear parts were really tight and fiddly. put just a dab of glue here. That one doesn't move at all, but this other one does need to rotate freely, so I was being really careful not to get too much. I was really impressed with the articulation that these feet have. The toe moves up and down as well as the ankle rotates left and right and hinges. And it looks like my lasagna's done. So after my quick break, it's time to get back to the model. You can see this model has a lot of hinges and a lot of range of motion, so you can position it any way you want after it's done. So here we have the model all put together, so now it's time to move on to some decals. So let's take a look at the photos and the instructions. I'm using just regular water to soften the decals enough to apply, but I'm also going to be using some microsol, which further softens the decals and helps them break down a little bit and dissolve into the complex shapes of the plastic. A lot better than just regular water is going to do. I like to use a toothpick to move these decals around. You can also moisten it with water or more of that microsol. And this is why they're called water slide decals. You just put them in a position and then slide out the paper backing. Here I'm applying some of that microsol with a brush. It's going to take a few coats to really get those things to adhere to the surface well. At the end, I'll spray a matte coating to kind of seal in all the decals and the additional paint, but I'm going to use some fast mask to mask out the eyeballs so it stays nice and glossy. Here we have all the decals applied. I couldn't show you on camera some of them. They were really hard to do, a little bit fiddly, and had to do them off camera. And just a few extra coats of microsol here and there to make them adhere to the surface. But now we're ready to add a little bit of paint. I'll be using some Vallejo model color to paint in some details. I'm just brushing these straight out of the bottle. You can always add a little bit of water or thinner to it if you need to. Just using a little dry brushing, I'm using some just regular silver to show some dents and scratches. I'm going to give him a little bit of a weathered look like he was in the movie, but not too much. And I repeated this for the rest of the body as well. After a quick coating with some matte spray, here's what we ended up with at the end of the day. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and if you liked it, give me a like. See you next time.